Well, we are lucky enough to have a man that has just taken over in the PFL. He has become one of the star fighters based upon his aggressive fighting, his body shots. He goes to the body like no MMA fighter out there. We've got the man, Cassius Clay Collard. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing excellent, man. I honestly couldn't be better.
How's everything been going in camp? You're fighting AJ McKee coming up here in Riyadh. How has everything been going for the camp, and how do you prepare for someone who is like AJ in terms of his athleticism, his speed, all the things? What do you know about him?
Oh man, so as far as preparation goes, this is probably the first camp I've had in 3 or 4 camps where I haven't been dealing with a little bit of an injury or something like that. So I am ecstatic when it comes to that. We've had a full camp. I've been able to wrestle. I've been able to grapple a lot. My hands feeling really strong. So yeah, we're primed and ready to go as far as mentally and physically. My opponent, personally, I think he's kind of got a little bit of a sloppy striking style. He's a good wrestler. I feel like he catches people in scrambles. He'll get him scrambling and then he'll throw on a submission. He'll get him scrambling and then he'll catch him with the knee or an elbow, things like that. So, I got to watch out when I'm scrambling. I am a scrambly guy, so I'm hard to hold on to. And I'm always looking for those pot shots in those scrambles as well. So it's an exciting matchup. And the guy's tough. I like beating up tough guys. So.
He is a tough guy. He comes from a family that has been in MMA forever. But since you went to the PFL, you have just blossomed. You were super young when you were in the UFC there, and that went for a little bit. But the PFL, you took on Anthony Pettis, beat Jeremy Stevens, beat Stevie Ray, beat Shane Burgos. You have been on fire, just tearing up people where no one was giving you the credit that you deserve. You are a phenomenal stand-up fighter. You've got good wrestling. You've got a good submission defense. You don't really go after the submissions a lot, more of the ground and pound if you're on the ground, but you've got the whole package.
I like hitting people, man.
That's it right there. Why is it that people have not just gravitated to your fighting style the way they should? Because, man, I'm telling you, I love watching your fights. You can ask Josh. Yeah. We sit there and we watch all the PFLs and we've talked about you a bunch. And that, man, your fighting style is fantastic.
I read a comment and it said, Cassius Clay is a man of violence for the people. And I'm like, that is hammer, nail, head. You know what I'm saying? I've been fighting my entire life. You mentioned about AJ McKee comes from a long line of, MMA in the family and things like that. I've been wrestling since I was 6 years old. I've been boxing since I was 10. Fighting has been my whole entire life. You kind of talked a little bit about my run in the UFC, and that was probably when you're a young 20-year-old kid getting paid lots of money to beat people up, and I made a lot of stupid decisions, and I kind of had a lot of crazy things happen, but I've matured. I found God a little more. I've tuned in to my spiritual side a little bit. I've got my family behind me. I've got more to fight for than I'm just a kid to make money. Like this is legacy. This is to give my kids everything they deserve and my wife everything she deserves, and so I'm putting in the work and I'm doing it right for once, and I'm not just that punk kid who's good at fighting anymore. I'm a grown ass man, and I take it serious, and I treat it like a profession. And I think that's the difference in what you're seeing is a matured, grown up Cassius Clay.
Let me jump on that real quick, John. Sorry to jump in here real quick, but
you go, baby.
Not a lot of fighters will talk about religion or God and how much it makes a difference in their life, but you just brought that up. And how have you seen your life change and since involving God more into your family, more into your life?
Man, just trying to stay in tune with that spiritual side and that belief that there's, something after, you know what I'm saying, life after death, and just to emerge myself into, like the Bible and Jesus and my Lord and Savior, especially I've dealt with two deaths in my family that were, both my brothers, all my brothers, we were all so tight, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of had, our parents are a little bit crazy, so we really stuck together, you know what I'm saying? And to first lose my little brother, that was hard, but my oldest brother, he was my hero, man. Like ever since I was a baby, like I looked up to him more than anybody. So just putting myself in the headspace, like I want to live righteous, you know what I'm saying? And I still got plenty of problems like the rest of us, but just tuning into that and just believing in myself and believing that I can do all things through Christ. And that's kind of where I'm at in life right now, guys.
It's peaceful. It's funny. I heard Deion Sanders say, like, just whatever's in your life. I don't care if it's no man, no woman, no child, doesn't matter. Do not interrupt my peace, because that's the most precious thing to me. And it resonated with me when he said that. And for a lot of people, they find peace in church. They find peace through God, and it shows. I mean, I feel like your performances since leaving, from leaving the UFC to be in the PFL and just understanding where you're at in life and what your goals are, I see it in your performances, man. You come out there and you lay it on the line. And that I feel like people that have found God, they found this position in their life, they feel like it doesn't matter when I go home, my kids are still going to love me and my family's still going to love me. Like, those are the important things in life. So it's great. It's great to hear a fighter say that.
Yeah, you gotta believe in something, man, because if you don't believe in anything, life kind of gets chaotic. You know what I'm saying? And
life's chaotic all the time,
especially with kids, man.
Oh
yeah. He's almost 2 and he's a terror, man. Like he is my son for sure.
Yeah. He's like, no DNA test needed, man. I already know.
Man, he's such a bruiser, man. Like he's just the toughest little shithead, man. I love him to death.
I love him to death, shithead, right? I tell guys all the time, man, hey, do yourself a favor. Enjoy the moments, because when you got a little one and they're 2, 3, 4, 5, you walk in the door and they're running at you, daddy, and they want to hit you and all those different things, right? Tackle you. Dude, you're a rock star then. And that is the greatest feeling in the world. I don't care how many fights you, anything, having that little person run at you and just scream out, daddy and stuff. Dude, enjoy
Thank
it.
you.
Because they turn into teenagers. Then it's all completely different.
No, I got a 15-year-old too. So I just took him to the gym and kicked his butt this morning. I've been trying to get him working out a little more and things like that. And he tells me, man, I was walking around school, my legs felt like Jello today. I'm like, good. That means you're putting in work.
Good.
Let me ask you this, because most people don't realize you've had a lot of your record is 24-11 as an MMA fighter. You've had a ton of boxing fights. You've had a lot of grappling matches that you've done, but you've had over 50 professional fights. And the one thing that, Josh and I will talk about this all the time, there's fighters out there, they're great at being the hammer. And when they're putting it on someone, man, they look good and everything's flowing for them, and they're great. But they're not real good at being the nail. And then you'll get guys like you. Dude, I've seen you be the hammer and I've seen you be the nail. And I've seen you just waiting for that moment that you can get back to where you want to be in the fight, get yourself up off of the ground, go after someone, and you just turn it on? What is it that's within you that just doesn't allow you to give in? Because that's really what it is. It's a conscious thought.
Man, I so my brother, when we were younger, he used to beat me up, man. And I just one day I'm gonna get him, and I think that just stuck with me. He'd get me so mad, and it didn't matter what he did. He'd have to eventually just hold me down until I calmed down, because I'm gonna get you back. I don't care how many times you kick me down or hit me in the face or throw me off the trampoline. I'm getting up, and I might be crying and red faced, but I'm gonna come at you with everything I got every single time, and I just think, I had an uncle beating me up. I had an older brother beating me up. It's just, I've always kind of had that dogfight in me, man. Like, you're not gonna get up on me, and if you do, like, I'm gonna get you back. There's no quit in me. There's, that run in the UFC, I fought Mowgli. They claimed he was one of the hardest kickers in mixed martial arts. He kicked me.
He was a teammate of Josh's.
Yeah, kicked me straight to the liver. I was in a really bad place personally in my life. I was dealing with a lot of really dumb stuff, and I shouldn't even have been in the cage at the time. But he hit me with that kick, and I wanted to quit so bad, but just there was something deep down inside of me. I remember, like, and he came at me, and I was about ready to just lay down, and something said, no, that's not you. And next thing I don't know, I'm throwing a punch, and yeah, I just don't have that quit in me, man. It's just, I don't know if it's from years of getting beat up or or what, but I just don't have that quit in me ever.
No, you don't. That's one of the things we love watching you for.
Back to AJ, I wanted to chat with you on this is because, look, he obviously, you were saying, like, he leaves himself wide open. He uses a lot of his athleticism to get him in and out of trouble sometimes. And when you're training for someone like that, how do you find a training partner, just not knowing, like, how athletic he is? A lot of fighters that have fought AJ have been like, he's extremely athletic. They didn't realize how athletic he was until they got in there with him. How do you find someone to train with like that, and how do you go about your training camps dealing with somebody like that?
Yeah, I'm not worried about what he's doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing. I'm focused on the things I've been working on and the things I'm good at, and I trust my coaches. So just, yeah, I'm focused on me, man. I'm athletic. You know what I'm saying? He's locked in that cage with me. I'm a beast, bro. I'm somebody. I beat up. Everybody counts me out against Pettis. I beat him up. They say he's washed up. Everybody counts me out against Stevens. I beat him up. Oh, he left the UFC. He's washed up too. They bring in Burgos. Like, I just, yeah, I'm the man to beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a good record. Who's he fought besides Pitbull? Like, any real big names or big superstars? Like, I was watching his top 10 knockouts, and within the first 30 seconds, I'm like, that guy's fighting's garbage, like with half of them. So, I, I, I have the experience. I mean, like you were talking about earlier, I have 50 professional fights, and I've fought come hell or high water sick. I've fought I fought where I've been down and out in life and I showed up and jumped in the cage. I fought where, I hit rock bottom and I was still showing up to fight. So now, like, I have my family behind me. I'm focused. My body feels good. I'm finally coming into my own, I feel like. And so, yeah, he's got a monster to deal with, bro. Everybody's talking about 24-1 and this and that. Like, half of my fights could have gone either way. Half of my losses could have gone either way, in my opinion. Some of them, I guarantee I won the fight and got screwed. So yeah, he's got to deal with me. I think my boxing's better. I feel like I'm a little clean. I feel like I'm a little cleaner striker. I feel like I'm dangerous. So I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about me. You know.
What is this merger like between the Bellator and PFL? I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether they'll call it a merger because they're still keeping Bellator around, or if they just call it a buyout, or if you just call it PFL. I don't know what to call it yet. But in this situation, there's a list of guys because you when you normally fight in the PFL tournament, it's kind of been the same guys you kind of prepare for, the same guys that are in the tournament. And now you're adding a list of a ton of guys that could potentially jump into this tournament. You got Brent Primus, you got Shabli, you got Usman Nurmagomedov, you got Tofik, you've got you've got top level guys that are now potentially, and they're still young, that have that ability to jump over into this lightweight tournament. What are your thoughts on welcoming new talent?
I mean, OAM just retired. Stevie Ray retired. You had the Haush Monafio and Nathan Schultz thing. I don't know if they're coming back. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm thinking I'm looking at a whole new roster this year, and I want tough fights. I want tough fights. I want to challenge myself. I want to see what I'm made of. You know, I want that. Like that's why I'm in this. I'm in this to test me, you know? And I do that by fighting the best guys in the world, and I've been doing this my entire life. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the competition, you know? That's why we all do this is the competition, right? To test ourselves, you know? It's more, I think it's more of a battle of what am I doing in my personal life? What am I working on? What do I got going for me? How do I overcome adversity? You know, and there ain't half as many people that dealt with half of what I dealt with, and I'm still here and I'm still at the top of my game. So like, bring it the fuck on. Pardon my language.
You're good, man.
Boy, you're still. I think this is one of the things that is amazing to me, really, is you're 30 years of age. You are still young. You are in the prime of your career. You have been fighting for a long time, though. You have been fighting. When did you start? You were 15?
2011 is when I went professional. I was 18 years old. I hadn't even graduated high school. So
yeah, I mean, both of you are very similar. That you both started really young. And in doing this, it's amazing that you are 30 years of age. Have you, in any of your, fights, ever traveled as far as Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to go get into a fist fight?
no, I keep saying this. There's that Avicii song where he says, "I hope I get a chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans."
Yeah.
That that's me, man. I get to travel the world, and I ain't planning none of this. So, yeah, no, I've kind of been dreading the flight a little bit.
Have you thought about it? Well, that's gonna be 20 some hours from Utah to Riyadh.
Close to 30.
Yeah, we're Netflix
and chill.
We got
Netflix and chill.
I've been thinking about getting into like motivational speaking. Recently I went and spoke with a rehab center. I've been kind of wanting to use my platform, that I built with fighting, kind of to branch off into a little more like, life stuff, let's deal with it type of an attitude, and get to trying to inspire people and help people. So, oh, hi, buddy. You just come walking
put him on up there, man. All right.
There's the terror right there, huh?
There you go.
What's up?
The future.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, he's a little bruiser.
Give me pounds, buddy. Pound it, buddy. Pound it.
Pound him.
Oh, yeah. What's going on?
I'm gonna go give him back.
That's all right. You do that.
Good.
Give me a sec. Hey, mama.
Breaking in, man. Funny. Breaking in.
Yeah, he just opened the door right up, man. I don't even know how he got it. He learned how to open the door. That's great.
They're pretty. They're
pretty. It all comes down the first year and a half of their life.
I'm thinking, I'm gonna start typing some stuff up. I got a long ride to, sit there and think and kind of come up with this like next chapter of my life a little bit. I kind of want to lay out plans for that and kind of get into that sort of stuff. So yeah, I just want to, help inspire people, help people going through a hard time. I've dealt with a lot of crazy things in my life. I come from, addict parents. I've lost two brothers, which, I think alcohol, I know for a fact alcohol definitely had something to do with my oldest brother's death. I'm pretty sure my little brother was out partying and stayed up too late and went to work, and on his way home, I think he fell asleep driving home, and that's what happened. So I just want to help inspire people to like be better and to, stay away from these substances and, find God, or find something to believe in. You got to believe in something. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on the flight. I'm gonna be typing some stuff up and
That's
thinking some
good.
stuff up.
Use the
I don't
time.
know.
Use the.
Yeah, we're always working, baby. We're always working.
Do you think that as you look at your career and everything, that now that the PFL has absorbed Bellator, are you looking to get back? And you went into the finals for the $1 million prize against OAM. You didn't get that win. He ended
I
up.
beat him up though.
I'm not
I beat
saying
him up
I'm
though.
not saying you didn't throw a lot of shots on him,
You
but
don't want to fight me again.
it
I'll
was
tell you that much.
let's be honest. It was the wrestling. He was able to hold you down for a period of time, and that really gave him on the judges' scorecards. But are you looking to get back into that tournament? Because it's rough, like you're saying, as far as being injured for all those fights and everything. It's not easy knowing that you're gonna have to do 4 fights in the year.
Man, like I'm in my prime, baby. Let's go.
All right.
I've been trying to get that belt for 3 years, so now it's almost like this chip on my shoulder, like I need it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I need to get that belt. Like the first year, I thought I beat Hausch, I outlanded him, I out wrestled him. I thought I had it in the bag with that fight, and I lost the unanimous decision. And I'm like, what are you guys watching? So next year I lose a split decision to Martinez, and I'm like, it was close. He had the he put me in the choke, but like I got out, I got up, and I was beating him up the whole time. So that one, I'm like, oh, that one's a tough one. I make it to the finals and I get held down for 3 rounds, 3 out of the 5 rounds. So it's like it's eluded me, and I really want that gold that money can't buy. I want to be able to call myself a world champion. So we're gonna give it another run, baby. Let's
All right.
go.
That's what I wanted to know. If it
You
was
got
there.
four. You got a handful of fights in me. I'm here to entertain.
Do you feel in this fight with AJ? Do you feel the pressure to represent the PFL brand because AJ's coming over from Bellator in this merger? He's representing the Bellator brand. You're representing the PFL brand. Do you feel that added pressure? Like, hey, I got the PFL flag on my back. I got to carry on this thing too.
A little bit. Um, it's a little more personal to me.
Why is that?
It's
Why is that?
like I want it to be the Cassius Clay Collard show. You know what I'm saying? I want to steal the show. There's huge names on the card. Ryan Bader. You got Santos. You got
Yoel Romero.
John. Yeah, Yoel Romero. Like we just got the best of the best on this card. And I want to steal the show, man. I want it to be the Cassius
People,
Clay Collard show.
people have talked about, look at it, people talking about this entire card. Your fight with AJ McKee comes up as much as any fight that I've heard of. Everyone is saying that's one of the fights to watch. So I think you have a
Yeah,
good
and
chance of that.
that's what I'm looking for. That's I want people. I want to shut up all the doubters. I want to shut up all the haters, man. Like that. I love my haters because I love proving them wrong. That saying. And
But
I'm just like,
who are those people?
Who do I gotta beat up to get some credit around here, man? You know. So if this is the guy, like, line him up. I'm ready. Let's go.
When you look at him, though, I know you're saying like, hey, he likes to hit things off of like scrambles, the knees, the submissions, all those things. But what are the areas you feel like you can exploit him in terms of, like you said, I'm going to focus on what I do best. And what you do best is, like John said when he introed you, you walk forward, you put pressure, you make that fighter feel uncomfortable, you rip the body better than anyone. You know, you come back up top to the head. Where exactly do you see that fitting into exploiting AJ McKee?
I feel like he's gonna get a little sloppy on the feet. I'm gonna hurt him. I feel like I'm gonna wear him down with the body shots. He's got a really big upper body, and he's got that real skinny stomach. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna eat that.
Where that liver is right there.
Eat that up. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just take the fight right out of him. I want to take the fight right out of him. You know, and that's what I do to people. I feel like that's what I did to Anthony Pettis. You know, I caught him good handful of times right in his stomach, and just took the wind right out of his sails. I feel like my pressure is going to be a big part of it. You know, I watched the fight with him and Pitbull, and Pitbull standing there, you know, just waiting on him, and that I'm like, and I still felt like I seen him getting a little tired. So I'm like, my pressure and that pace I put on, I feel like I can just wear him down and take him into that deep water and drown his ass, you know?
When you look at having this fight, your last fight was a 5-round fight. This one is a 3-round fight. Does that make a difference in how fast you want to start?
I'm gas pedal the whole time, every time, man. I joke with my coach, you know, I only got one speed, and that's go. So, my cardio's through the roof, man. Like, I'm not gonna get tired. I'm gonna be able to throw 3 rounds. I just went 5 rounds with the big guy wrestling me the whole time, you know, and I felt great. You know, I'm like, come on, man, let me keep fighting him. You know, towards the end of that, like, I know I got his leg hurt. I know he's sucking wind, you know, like, let me keep fighting him. I'll get him eventually, you know. And so yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna hit that gas pedal. I'm gonna get to work, and I'm gonna try to hurt him. I'm gonna be violent.
Well, this is my last question. I'll get you out of here on this. John will probably have one follow-up as well. But hey, give me a prediction. How do you see this fight going in an ideal world?
Ideal world, early round 3. I think the hands
that far out, round 3. You want to go that long?
Yeah, I
don't get paid by the minute.
He's tough.
How do you see it going?
I'm being realistic. You know what I'm saying? I could be like, oh, I'm gonna go in there 1-2 water kazoo, knock his ass out, you know. But I'm being realistic. I'm gonna have to beat him up a little bit. I'm gonna have to wear him down a little bit. I'm gonna have to beat up that body a little bit. I'm gonna have to suck that wind out of him and take that fight out of him first, and then late round 2, early round 3. I think we can get it done if everything goes according to plan. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, I look forward to your fight just about more than any other fight on that card. It is going to be outstanding. Both of you are phenomenal fighters. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for spending your time with us. Best of luck in Riyadh. Go do your thing. Go to the body, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, Cassius Clay Collard.
Thank you, guys.